One of the things that we need to do is to get people to understand what are the cultural issues that don't serve communities and what are the cultural issues that actually serve to advance communities. And if there are cultural issues that inhibit women's ability either to perform their roles or to advance themselves and their households, I think there's a lot of room for negotiation in terms of what is best for communities. What would be very harmful is for external people to actually think that they can change people's culture, but that change has to come from within, from an awareness of what role this culture is playing, either in terms of reinforcing gender inequalities or in terms of preventing advancement of communities. So I'm actually quite positive that with community involvement, a lot of these cultural barriers can actually be broken. Land, inheritance of land, has been one of the biggest impediments to women owning or having access to land resources. And a lot of governments have actually realized that unless women have access to land, they are actually missing the productivity of half of their populations. And at the moment, there's a lot of efforts to actually change land laws in order to allow women to actually inherit land or to allow women to be able to purchase land even independent of their spouses. And I think this will greatly improve the productivity of women. And this will have a ripple effect in terms of increasing food security, improving nutrition at household level. So that's been one of the areas where there has been a lot of concentration in terms of trying to have more gender-responsive laws to improve women's access and ownership of land. A lot of policymakers are men. And this is not to say that men necessarily do not understand gender issues or that women will necessarily always advance gender issues. But we have seen in countries that have been progressive in terms of putting more women in decision-making positions, that the laws have been much more progressive in terms of addressing the needs of women. Why that happens is because once a country starts having women in positions of leadership, it means they are getting more responsive to the needs of women, and this can actually translate all the way down from the national level to the local level. If I give an example of Ethiopia, that they have a current strategy for agriculture growth and transformation, and we are seeing even at that policy level, much more emphasis in terms of how to actually integrate gender and how to reach women. So we are expecting to see a lot of more positive policy making around gender.